Greetings to all Buddhist practitioners and friends by destiny listening to the Mindful Finance program. In today's busy life, perhaps no one among us fails to mention the two words money or wealth. Money permeates every breath, every meal, every sleep of ours. It is the topic of conversations, the cause of joys, and also the source of not a few worries. We diligently earn money, dedicating our youth to chasing it, sometimes forgetting our health, forgetting the true values of life. Have you ever asked yourselves, what is money truly in our lives? Is it a means, or has it become an ultimate end? And under the light of Buddhist teachings, how should we perceive money to live peacefully and righteously? Today, we will contemplate this topic together. Dear audience, modern society places immense pressure on each individual regarding financial matters. From a young age, we are taught that we must study very well, find a high-paying job, and have money to be successful, to have status, to be respected. Gradually, money is not just a tool for acquiring material things, but it also becomes a measure of human worth. People with a lot of money are considered successful, talented, influential. Conversely, people with less money may feel inferior, inadequate, or even be perceived differently by society. Therefore, we inadvertently transform money from a means to serve life into an end to pursue. We work not for joy, not for contribution, but for the salary at the end of the month. We shop not out of real necessity, but to display status, to prove ourselves. Just look, how many people are doing jobs they don't love just for a high salary? How many families are breaking apart due to financial disputes, due to financial pressure? How many people have sacrificed their health, their family time, to chase numbers in bank accounts? How many people, after acquiring a lot of money, feel emptier, lonelier, and more insecure than before? A typical example is the story of a certain businessman who dedicated his life to building a huge business empire. His assets amounted to hundreds of millions of dollars. But then, in old age, he lay on his sickbed, with no close relatives around. His children were preoccupied with their own lives, and his wife had divorced him long ago because he was too busy with work. Looking back, he realized that he had a lot of money, but he had nothing else. No health, no love, no peace. He had turned money into an end, and in the end, money consumed his entire life. This is the consequence of allowing money to become our master instead of our servant. So, how did the Buddha, the great enlightened one, perceive money? Did Buddhism consider money to be evil, something to be completely discarded? The answer is no. The Buddha never denied the role of money in life. He did not teach us to abandon all possessions to become poor. On the contrary, the Buddha encouraged lay Buddhists to know how to earn money righteously and use money wisely. In the Majjhima Nikaya, the Buddha taught 4 ways for lay followers to use their wealth. To nourish oneself and one's family, money is first and foremost to ensure basic living, food, clothing, shelter, and medical care for oneself and loved ones. This is a person's primary responsibility. Without money, we can hardly sustain life, nor can we practice the Dhamma. To help friends and relatives, money is also a means for us to express compassion, helping those around us when they face difficulties or misfortune. A person with wealth who does not know how to share, only hoards for themselves, cannot achieve complete happiness. To contribute to the common good of society, this involves practicing generosity, dana, making offerings to the triple gem, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, building schools, hospitals, roads, helping the poor and needy. This not only brings merit to oneself, but also contributes to building a better society. To save for the future and for unforeseen circumstances. The Buddha also did not encourage us to spend extravagantly. He taught us to save and accumulate a portion of our wealth for illness, old age, or when unexpected events occur in life. You see, the Buddhist teachings on money are extremely practical and humane. He did not tell us to abandon money, but to know how to master it, how to use it to serve life and accumulate merit. Money, from a Buddhist perspective, is a means for us to maintain right livelihood, to be able to eat, dress, live, study, work, practice the virtue of generosity and sharing, help the less fortunate, create merit, support learning and propagating the Dhamma, build temples, print scriptures, support the Sangha, ensure peace of mind for oneself and family, reduce worries about daily necessities to have time and focus for spiritual practice. Another story I want to tell you, my children, is about Anathapindika, one of the richest benefactors during the time of the Buddha. He was not only rich in assets, but also rich in compassion. He used all his money to buy the Jetavana Grove, building a monastery to offer to the Buddha and the Sangha. He used money to help the poor and the afflicted without any calculation. Because he knew how to transform money into a means to accumulate merits, even though he was very rich, he lived a peaceful, serene life and was respected by everyone. That is the clearest proof that money is a useful means when used correctly. But when does this means turn into an end, becoming a trap that plunges us into suffering? Money becomes an end when we are too greedy, resorting to any means to earn money. When money becomes the sole goal, people may disregard ethics, cheat, gain illicit profits, or even harm others to get it. For example, financial scams, selling fake goods, or industries that harm the environment and human health just for profit. People do not think about karma, do not think about the consequences for the community. Consequence: earning money but having uneasy mind, fearing exposure, fearing retribution. Despite having material wealth, one lacks human connection and peace. Are too worried and afraid about money. When money is seen as an end, we are always afraid of losing money, always afraid of not having enough, even if we already have a lot. This fear dominates every thought and action. For example, a person with billions in their bank account still does not dare to spend, still eats meagerly, still worries about the future. They are controlled by money, not free. Consequence: despite having money, unable to enjoy life, living in constant stress and pressure. Use money to evaluate ourselves and others. When money is seen as an end, we often use the amount of money we or others have as a measure of worth. For example, feeling inferior when seeing that one is not as rich as friends, or despising those who are financially less fortunate. Consequence: creates discrimination, envy, arrogance, losing genuine relationships. Are attached to money, unwilling to give. When money becomes an end, people cling to it excessively, unwilling to share or help anyone. For example, a wealthy person who does not contribute to society, does not help struggling relatives, only hoards for themselves. Consequence: a dry, lonely soul, failing to accumulate merits. All these things stem from ignorance and craving. Ignorance is not seeing the true nature of money, not understanding the law of karma. Craving is an insatiable desire, never knowing enough. It is ignorance and craving that have turned money from a friend into an enemy, from a means into a chain that binds us.
So how can we live peacefully with money, turning it back into its rightful role as a useful means? Change perception. Money is energy. It is exchange. See money as a flow of energy. It comes to us when we work righteously, creating value. It leaves when we use it to meet needs or create value for others. For example, when you go to work, you create value for the company, and the company pays you. When you buy an item, you exchange money for its utility. Cherish this flow. Do not try to hold on to it or block it selfishly. Practice right livelihood in earning money. Right livelihood is earning money legally without deception, without harming sentient beings or the environment. For example, if you are a business person, sell quality products at reasonable prices. Do not deceive customers. If you are an employee, work your best. Dedicate yourself to the job. Benefit. Earning money with right livelihood helps your mind be at peace without worrying about karmic retribution. Practice contentment. Set limits for greed. Clearly understand your true needs and those of your family. Do not chase unnecessary material desires. For example, instead of constantly wanting a bigger house or a more luxurious car, be content with what you have if it's enough to live comfortably. When you have a mind of contentment, you will reduce the burden of earning money, lessening pressure. Benefit. Reduces worry, lives serenely, not bound by material possessions. Practice generosity, dana, and making offerings. Share a portion of your assets. Dedicate a part of your income to help those in need, contribute to charitable activities, and make offerings to the Triple Gem. For example, you can set aside 5 to 10% of your income for charity. It doesn't have to be a large amount. What's important is the joyful heart when giving. Benefit. Cultivates merit, expands the mind, brings peace. To give is to keep forever. Spend with mindfulness. Ask yourself before spending, do I really need this item? What is the purpose of buying it? Do I feel happy spending this amount? Avoid emotional spending. Do not shop when feeling sad, angry, or to show off. Benefit. Avoids waste, reduces debt, lives more responsibly with your finances. Use money to cultivate family happiness and personal development. Don't just save money and forget other invaluable assets. Use money to care for your health, exercise, eat healthfully, have regular checkups. Learn and develop yourself. Buy books, take courses, practice skills. Spend quality time with family, travel, eat together, create beautiful memories. Practice spiritual cultivation. Buy scriptures, attend retreats, build a meditation space at home. Benefit. Money becomes a tool to create true happiness, not just material possessions. Dear Buddhist practitioners and friends, through what we have contemplated together, you must have gained a clearer understanding of money in the light of Buddhist teachings. Money itself is neither good nor bad. It is like a knife. In the hands of a chef, it is a tool to create delicious dishes, but in the hands of a robber, it becomes a weapon that causes harm. Money is the same. It is a powerful means. It can help us create happiness, do good, help others, or it can become a tool of greed, selfishness, leading to suffering. Our task is to master money, not let money master us. Always ask yourselves, why am I earning money? How am I spending money? Is money truly bringing me peace or just worries and burdens? When we perceive money according to its true nature, a means, we will no longer be controlled by it. We will know how to use it wisely, responsibly, so that our lives and the lives of those around us become better. At that time, we will truly find awakened wealth, living a life of inner peace, whether we have little or much money. Remember the Buddhist teaching. Happiness is not having everything you want, but appreciating everything you have. Money is just a means. Happiness and liberation from suffering are the ultimate goals of every person's life. I hope that today's sharing will help you and all Buddhist practitioners gain further direction on the path of mindful financial management. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the Mindful Finance channel to not miss the next lectures. Namo Amitabha Buddha.